Hello everyone, guess where I'm about to head to? That's right, I'm going back to Deronis' garden. I never expected to be back here so soon, but today and tomorrow he's doing his plant giveaway. So as you know from the tour, if you haven't seen the tour of his garden, I will link it down below, but everything he grows is annuals. So he doesn't overwinter everything. Well, some plants you can overwinter, but he chooses not to. So he gives any plants away that people want. And that's what's happening this weekend. So we're gonna head down today. I don't know when it's gonna be the busiest or how busy it's gonna be, but I know as a plant person myself, I would wanna get there as early as it opens and just so I can grab the plants I want. I am not taking any plants because I have enough plants. I have enough plants. I don't need any more, but I'm just gonna go down there. I'm gonna bring some coffee, represent the brand, bring some donuts as well, and just kind of hang out. And then I'm hoping there is some time because there were a ton of questions for him on his tour video. So I'm hoping I can sit down with him for a little bit and ask him some of those questions. And I'm hoping the cats are there. So let's head to Dunkin' Donuts and then we will head back to Deronis's. All right, we are here at Grandma's Gardener and plants are already being taken. There's still a good amount left, but I don't know for how long. So this is the front fence, still pretty full, but I'm excited because I can now show you guys, well, at some point, what the containers look like now that some of the plants are being pulled. And then later I'm gonna ask him some of the questions that you guys had. Pile of plants here, pile of plants there, more plant piles. Hi, Smokey. Hey, Smokey. Hey, good baby. Oh, hey, here's an example of a planter you couldn't see before. So it looks like a flower box on, I don't know exactly what this is. And that's how this was completely covered. Here's some more of the baskets on the fence inside the yard, to see how he makes just the complete wall of plants. Oh, and there you can actually see a pot now. He does have colorful pots, although not that the colors actually matter because you can't see them once the plants cover them. All right, this section's almost completely gone, and I did get some info. So all of the containers stay exactly where they are over winter. So there is no moving or storing of these. The only thing he does cover is a fountain that he has. I cannot move. There's a cat on me. All right, here's what I can show with the cat on me. So this is the planter that held the black plants, black banana plants, black sweet potato vines. All of the banana plants are gone. Some of the sweet potato vines are left, but this was definitely one of the more popular areas to pull from. Come on. Come on. All right, I escaped Smokey. Here's some more of the containers. Now the plants are gone. So yeah, lots of bright colors that you can see for a little bit in spring before all the plants cover them. The giant plants are still here because I think people realize they can't fit them in their car or their home, but some of the smaller ones have been taken from this border. Hello everyone, I'm back again.
Yes.
Just a couple weeks later, you're doing the plant giveaway.
Yes.
Yes, and this is the second year?
Second year that I've been doing it.
What made you start last year?
Believe it or not, I was so accustomed to, well, as you well know, the last couple of years we had weird weather.
Yes.
Where we had snow on Halloween and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
that's right,
stuff
that was
would
last
die
year.
A lot faster. And for whatever reason, a couple of years ago, I was like, you know what, maybe I should see if people want the plants. I don't overwinter anything, but
Yes.
maybe someone would want
That
them.
was a question people had. Do you ever wish you could overwinter more stuff or no?
I have too much. I mean,
Yeah.
I would literally have to have a warehouse. I mean, at some point in time when I retire and I now establish myself in a different capacity, then absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I have a list of questions that a lot of people wanted to know because everyone loves your garden, so I'm going to ask you those.
Okay.
So first, most asked question is, do you have a YouTube or when are you going to start a YouTube channel?
I do not have a YouTube. I actually only have one for my snow plowing company right now.
Oh, you do?
It's, yeah, but it's just videos of me plowing snow. If
Okay.
somebody likes tranquil videos of seeing a plow truck
Maybe.
go back and forth, you know, It's not very active, mainly because I have a demanding job, as you well know.
Yes.
And gardening takes a lot of time, and then in a short amount of time, we'll be getting snow, and I'll be plowing snow and everything. So I do plan on doing a gardening YouTube.
Yes.
Give me about 1.5 years when I retire, because anything that I do, I like to do it to the best of my ability.
Right.
My background is actually communications anyway, so I used to intern at CBS in Chicago. So it's something that's a passion of mine, and if I turn out a product that I don't like, I'll be upset.
Yes. Well, I will for sure let everyone know here, but follow him on Instagram for sure. So that
Grandma's Gardener.
Yes, Grandma's _ Gardener.
Yes.
So that you can keep up to date with everything that he's doing.
Yes.
Another question that was asked a lot is, how much does this cost every year?
That's a great question. So I'll answer it this way.
Yes.
I remember about 8 years ago, I had a $5,000 budget. And I happened to go to Lurvy's, and I see some of these beautiful crescent planters that I have, and they were half price. And so I bought like 7 of them, and that was like half of my budget right there, right? So then, and that was before everything was as large as it is and it's continued to grow. And that was before I even had the bed here. So basically, I don't know and I don't want to know. And I'll tell you this way. I use a lot of my profits from snowplowing to purchase my plants. And at this point in time, I really can't have a budget because I can't complete everything out here until it's done.
Yeah.
So it's up there. I'll say that much. But I'm not going to lie to you. I refuse to look at the receipts. I mean, I know what I've spent in a day, and it's gross.
But I think we can all relate to that with our love of plants.
Yeah. So
now, at this point, do you have enough containers that you don't have to spend as much on containers?
Yeah, I rarely. The only thing I do with containers now, I may add a small something here or there. But when I change stuff around, I never really throw things away. I either give it away, and I typically give it away after I've realized okay, I really don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
I even gave you a couple.
Yes, I'm excited to use them.
You know, if I realize that I don't need it and it's in good shape, then I'll give it away.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, well, I'm excited to have, I spray painted them already.
Yes.
Which is my first time spray
good.
painting containers. It was pretty easy, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I do. That's all I do is spray paint them. So.
Well, I know a lot of people wanted to see your containers, so I've been trying to show them. You do bright colors.
Yes.
But then they're covered with plants. Yeah. But do you do the bright colors because you like how that looks before they're covered with
I've
plants?
I've always been a guy, purple is navy blue is my favorite color.
I can tell.
Obviously. And I've always loved purple. And that was a color that my grandmother liked a lot too. So the purple planters were the anchor planters up front. And she also liked yellow, so I have a yellow one over here too.
Oh, I love that.
Our kitchen used to be yellow. So the purple was just something that I think had a really cool vibe. And eventually some of the planters up front got transferred to the back. And year by year is when I would come up with more ideas maybe if I added some here, or maybe if I added some there, and then once I come up with an idea, which is not good for me to come up with ideas, because ideas cost money.
Yes, they do.
So
unless you find it on Facebook Marketplace for free.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm kind of all tapped out of ideas as of right now.
Yeah.
Adding the furniture this year was cool. I had a lot, but adding more furniture around the tree.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the thing I loved about the wrought iron furniture is that the black wrought iron furniture around the tree with the darker plants, you almost didn't even notice the furniture.
No, you
didn't. So it
didn't.
really didn't take away from anything. And I like that aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want something to clash. I don't like things clashing.
Another question was, as far as your style of planting, did you go into it knowing what style you were looking for? Did you just grab the plants you like and put them together, or how did you determine it?
In the very beginning, my friend Nikki, who I told you was a paramedic, she was the one who kind of taught me everything. I really didn't know where to even buy my plants from. So how I told you I originally began, I would go around the city and I would take pictures of planters that I liked. And then, based off of Nikki and then a couple garden centers, they would tell me, they would identify the plants in the planters. So then when I would tell them the type of area that I had, whether it was sunny or in a shaded area, they would let me know what plants survived there.
Okay.
So in the very beginning, because if you go back to 2016 on some of those pictures, you can see I've always loved sweet potato vines, but my entire garden was green and purple.
Yes.
Because I had elephant ears and a ton of sweet potato vines. And I had a lot of caladiums, and I actually have no caladiums now.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. There aren't any caladiums
I haven't used
anymore.
caladiums, and even though I love them,
Yeah.
I just haven't used them because they don't get big.
Yeah.
So what made me fall in love with coleus is that there are so many different varieties of coleus, and they are very tolerant to sun or shade, even though some people think that they're only a shade plant. All of my coleus are actually shade, sun, it doesn't matter. They thrive in both conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look, like you see the sun here, you turn around behind you, it's shaded, and you see things are still thriving. Yeah. Now, eventually the sun will get over here.
Oh, it does get over here. Okay,
Yes.
I was wondering if this was shaded the whole time or
But
not.
back there, it doesn't get as much. So, I mean, you'll be amazed, but even on the front of the house, all of those plants that you saw with that wall of plants on that front balcony, yeah, all of that is pretty much like, just daylight all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned this a little bit, but there was also questions about your background in gardening, how you learned it all.
So, literally, when I was a kid, I used to help my grandmother in her garden. Her garden was a vegetable garden.
Yep.
And back then, it was more of a chore. I love my grandmother, and it was just something that I did naturally with her. The game changed, no lie, when we got a tiller, because it was tough when you're taking a spade shovel and turning over her garden, which took me a couple days.
Yeah.
Then when we got a tiller, it took me a couple hours, so that changed the game.
Then you liked it a little bit better.
Oh, loved it. Trust me, my back did too, even though I was young. And it seemed like she always did it on the hottest day of the year. But, I love architecture, I love design and things like that. And I didn't know where to begin. But anything that you like, you research, right?
Yep.
Once my friend Nikki was the one who taught me about this stuff, and then I began to learn on my own. And literally, I planted a planter, and it thrived. So then I did another one, and it thrived. And I did another one, and then that's where everything kind of took off. And once I started knowing what would survive in my area, then all that I do, honestly, is I plant something, and I duplicate it 100 times.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's all I do. The way you switch it up. One person on your YouTube made a really great observation. They said they had never seen a garden with this much color without flowers.
When that person said that, I didn't even realize
Yes.
that there were barely any flowers
Yes.
here. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh,
Right?
that's true.
It's basically all plants. And it's mainly, the bulk of my color comes from coleus.
Yeah.
Obviously we know I have my anchors. So I plant with, the auspice of thriller, filler, spiller.
Yep.
So my thrillers are elephant ears, bananas, my king tut papyrus, and my tall mahogany hibiscus, these right here.
Yeah.
And then all of my fillers are basically going to be, I have some Cleon, but for the most part, it's going to be all of my coleus. And then afterwards, I have a ton of sweet potato vines, and I try to get them in every color imaginable.
Yeah, I saw one of the tricolor ones. I like the colors. For me, they don't grow as quickly as the other ones.
Believe it or not, I haven't had a problem
Okay.
with any of mine. So yeah, they have different ones like this here, and then this is called the Red Hawk. So this is red. I mean, I know it's all dying. Now these copper ones, remember I told you my mom laughs at me because I can tell you where I got every plant from.
Yeah, I
so
like
these
those.
I got from Prairie View in Hampshire, Illinois. And because I've never really seen any that had like a copper leaf.
Yeah.
And I always go and like buy everything they have.
And you can actually kind of see the planter now.
Mm-hmm.
That purple color.
Yeah. And believe it or not, this thing is huge. But
Does
I can
that
lift
move?
it by myself.
Okay, yeah.
I can actually, once it's empty, I can lift it by myself.
How many plants would you estimate?
I
In here.
think this year was close to 100.
In this one pot?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Close to 100. So like, I put 4 elephant ears.
Yeah.
I had, I think, 2 king tuts. I had 1 mahogany hibiscus. And of the big gallon coleus, if I'm not mistaken, I had 8 of those.
Okay.
And then, I probably put about 60 or more smaller plants because the way I did it was just in sections. It was like 5 sweet potato vines, a petunia, which is now dead, and then 5 sweet potato vines, a petunia, and then sticking them in, I have these spikes. I would stick those in everywhere just to give a little bit of dramatic appeal, and then that's pretty much it. But I mean, I can't tell you how many true coleus I have in there because me, once I see dirt, I add another plant.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say you don't ever follow spacing recommendations,
No,
right? Yeah,
not
I
a-
used to, and then I realized
No.
I can shove more plants in here and they'll be fine.
The reason why I don't, I mean, this is Chicago. We only get like a
Yeah.
5-month gardening season. So, I mean, now from that aspect, I kind of break all the gardening rules
Yeah.
based on what I've been told. Like, I don't like to see space.
I don't either.
Anything that, if I can see dirt, then a plant can fit there. So I always add plants because I basically want my planters to kind of look like, you know, umbrellas of fireworks. You know, I just like them kind of exploding.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. It was very nice meeting you.
So what's happening today and tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Is that people are grabbing plants, and then whatever's left over, what happens to that?
So in about a week, I'll call my landscapers and they'll just come wipe everything away.
Okay.
Everything else gets, you know, knocked down, and then it looks like you cut the beard off my house. And then I can prepare for snow plowing season, and then hopefully make enough money to buy more plants next year.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting me come back. And I think those were the most asked questions. If there's any more questions, leave them down below in the comments and I will get answers for you. But I think now I'm going to wander around and show people your containers because everyone wanted to see what they actually looked like.
Yes, majority of them are either crescent. I have a lot of Veradec. Eventually, this might be the last year of the top wooden ones because they're
Oh.
just falling apart.
Did you make those?
No, I had them custom made.
Okay.
But I actually have some plastic, more durable Veradec that I already have like in storage waiting to go up there. to
Okay.
replace
Do you
them.
remember the ones you gave me? Were those Veradec? They
No,
look...
those were Tierra Verde.
Oh.
Those came from Home Depot.
Okay.
And
They
those
look
are-
very similar.
Yes, yes. They all kind of do. I mean, they all mimic each other.
So if you get rid of these, are you going to replace them with something?
I already have, so
you already have it?
can
Okay.
kind of see these. These are Veradecs under here. You can kind of see in
Oh.
here. And they're plastic.
Okay.
And if you look, I had a car go through my fence a couple years ago. So if you look, I actually took 2 of these and I put it on the fence up here. I can show you.
Oh.
And I painted them.
Oh.
So basically everything here will be all the way across.
Okay. And you said you painted those?
Yeah, just because these I believe were brown, and
Yeah.
I didn't want them to look dark brown on the top of the fence.
Yeah.
I wanted it to kind of blend in a little bit.
And then how do you connect it? Is there like a hole?
No, I just drilled them into the fence.
Oh, you just drilled them in. Okay.
That's it. And I can't remember. I think I might have added. I always add extra drainage holes.
Yeah.
Mainly
I do
because
too.
it's very, very important that they get drainage.
And I feel like a lot of my pots come with one tiny one, even
Yeah.
the big ones.
And I mean, with all of the stuff I stuff in there, it can clog up
Yeah.
in a heartbeat.
And then
So,
what about these?
So these are crescent garden as well.
Oh, they are. Those do
So
look
crescent
familiar.
garden. So I have 4 of these.
Okay.
These are the ones I told you I got from Lurvy's a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I got them for half price, thank God. And there's 2 in the back. And then these were once all black, but these are Veradec as well.
Okay.
And I still have 2 remaining this size, but these I got a great deal on Facebook Marketplace. So
Is everything, would you say, painted, or are there any containers that are still the color? That
these
they
are
paint?
actually the original
Okay.
color. And the only reason I left them that color so they
They
can kind
match,
of blend
yeah.
into the fence.
And I love these. I didn't even see because they were covered with plants, but I love
Yeah,
the
so I got
decoration.
those at Home Goods probably about 8 years ago.
Okay.
Some have broken off a little bit. They're not as you can see in there, but
Yeah.
they still work.
And you said every container stays where it is. It's not going anywhere
Yeah,
else.
I don't take a container and move them anywhere.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I guess kind of like me too. Where would they go? There's nowhere for them to go.
No, we don't move anything anywhere. So,
Well, thank you so much,
okay.
guys. Remember
I'm
again to
always
follow
happy.
him on Instagram. He will
Yeah.
have a YouTube soon. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure he has a YouTube channel
If-
soon.
We'll see if I can get to doing it.
You
know,
can.
this summer for the next gardening season.
You should just do a vlog of your like plant
Previous
buying extravaganza. I think people will
We'll
see
see.
that.
I just like being able to have enough time to spend.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to have anticipation for something and then the video quality is not as good. And so, you know me, like if I do something now, I got to go and find the best editing software
Yeah.
and find all this extra stuff. It's probably going to cost me a ton of money, but you know,
Well, at least when we do start, then
Mm-hmm.
we know that you'll be ready to go.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
So thank you for coming by as always.
All right, so we are at the end of day 1 of the Great Plant Giveaway. I will not be here for day 2, but a lot of plants have already been taken, so I don't know how many will be left here. This back area was always one of my favorites, and it's so weird now to see all of the containers when before all you could see was just walls of plants. So that's gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna hang out here a little bit longer, probably pet the cats again, and I will see you all in the next video. And definitely make sure to follow Deronis and stay up to date on whenever he's going to launch his YouTube channel, which I'm going to make sure does happen.